Hello there. I'm going to do a review for the movie Hoppers. This movie is an animated film that came out a couple weeks ago. It's a pretty good film in general terms. I mean, it's not nothing groundbreaking about it. It's just pretty standard issue animated movie. CGI animation as usual. I don't think you're going to find too many regular movies anymore. But nonetheless, this movie it's not too bad. It's got a pretty simple story in it about basically a girl ends up finding out about a habitat area that's under potential siege from property developers. And of course, this is because when she was younger, she was a bit of a rowdy person and she ends up finding out the value of nature. And it ends up doing into quite an interesting tale of storyline because apparently uh, when she basically learns about this habitat, wants to secure it. The mayor in this town wants to build a freeway over the top of the habitat, so essentially destroying the habitat. So yeah, it's all good. The central story though is that apparently in the science labs somewhere they have figured out how to jump mines from different creatures to different creatures. And so the result was is that this is kind of how the story unfolds. Is she ends up jumping into what is it, a beaver or something like that? And it's so funny. It's actually kind of a curious story. It's weird. It's different. It's got a different storyline to it, and it's about about her becoming a beaver. It was a regular human girl, and she got turned into a beaver. And the beaver is actually not a real beaver; it's an animatronic beaver. Somehow, this town has some advanced science and technology in it, but nonetheless, gets turned into a beaver. And the whole movie is basically centered around the concept that she's able to now talk to all the different animals, and that ensures that she warns them that there's people trying to do habitat development in this place. And of course they're about to lose their homes per se because of course their homes are in the marshlands. And the whole joke is that of course they get a hold of all the different animals and all the different groups, all the what is it, the butterflies, the centipedes, uh, all the different animals, all the moose, all the deer, all the different creatures are all communicating with each other, and of course they're going to stop this property developer from doing something. And of course, one of these creatures ends up becoming a bit of a megalomaniac. But it's an interesting story. I don't think there's anything truly groundbreaking. It's not as fun to watch as older movies, but it's still interesting. It's got a good, decent storyline for what it is. Actually, not too bad to watch. It's a fun movie. It reminds me of other movies I've watched in recent times about with animated featurettes. Reminds me of a few other stories, but nonetheless, it's about the usual stuff. Basically, yeah, they got to stop this property developer. They got to stop the mayor from developing this area. And of course, it leads to a big, huge plot line where, of course, the caterpillars. One of the little animal meetups, the beaver ends up. Well, what's the main character's name? It's the main character is played by Piper Curda, and his main character is Mabel. And Mabel is trying to get rid of the property developer. But of course, this leads to inevitable problems later in life because when they have to deal with the property developers, they end up doing a lot of different things. But they end up finding out that one of the creatures has a megalomaniac concept to them, and this whole plot unfolds that at the end, this ends up leading to them. All the animals start. There's certain animals that end up learning how to jump into humans, into human animatronics, because apparently these things exist. It's not too bad. It's a funny film. I don't think if you're gonna you can't take anything in this movie worth a modicum of seriousness. It's a pretty straightforward film about an ecological storyline about protecting your swamplands and your streams and stuff like that. It's kind of not too bad storyline. I didn't worry about the narrative of the Greens versus the industrialists. It's got a pretty straightforward story. Although I was actually kind of wondering why they are building a freeway into such a tiny town, but it's not exactly important. It's just it's happening. The basic point is that the beavers have built dams there for years, and of course they gotta end up breaking. The dam gets end up getting broken, and the beavers and everybody's under threat to leave. But nonetheless, no. Later they have to figure out how to deal with these property developers, and of course they figure out how to jump bodies, and it leads to a whole bunch of subplotting. It's actually kind of interesting to hear the one beaver trying to communicate with the humans after a bit because of course she knows how the humans talk, and of course she's talking like a beaver. So of course it ends up with a problem of a voice translator that has to be done. It's kind of a different concept. I think it's more somewhat unique in its desires. Um, in some ways, it's like watching Freaky Friday, where you have body jumping, and it ends up working out pretty well as a movie because it just has a little bit of fun with its concept. Is that she has to try and communicate with all these people because she knows how they talk, but now she's talking like a beaver. So you have a voice translator, and of course and also she talks to the animals, and she gets them to understand that their property is going to potentially be developed into this territory. It does drag in a few spots because honestly I don't think I think it drags in a few territories of time, has its usual problems. It's the fact that of course the town council meetings when they come up about certain things, the mayor is not the mayor. It's actually this caterpillar that's housed in the mayor. So of course the mayor talks all crazy and gets him into a bit of trouble. But nonetheless, starts up a forest fire, of course, that goes around and everybody has to flee for their lives, and they end up having to use the stream water to put this fire out. I don't know. It was an alright movie. There's nothing amazing about it. It works. It does its job. It's good for a few laughs. It's entertaining. I think the younger kids will like it. Um, I don't know. As for adults, it's got its merits. I mean, it's a fun little movie. There's nothing too serious in it. For those who don't take themselves too seriously, it's a fun little film. It's a nice little film to watch. It's not too serious. There's a couple of films like this recently released, like Migration was another movie that dealt with simple stories. The basic premise is pretty straightforward, but all in all, it does its job. In the end, they end up getting the ecological situation cleared up. They decide not to build the freeway. Actually, what it more or less is, they look for a compromise. The mayor looks for a compromise with the girl to develop this area in a way that's doesn't entirely rip up the stream bed, and also the roadway can still get built. That kind of stuff happens. It's, I mean, I wouldn't expect anything too much different. I can't even remember who made this movie. Who was it? Directed by Daniel Chong. Don't know him. It doesn't matter. And what else? Yeah, yeah. It's pretty straightforward film. There's nothing. It's just funny they have this technology for jumping from mind to mind, and how this is used in the movie. Okay, it's Disney's Pixar. Yeah, it's a nice little film. I think this was actually better than the other movie that came out a few months ago. That was about what was it? Dog Man. I think this is a much better film than Dog Man. The message here is a little bit better. It doesn't involve complete death of a creature and Dog Man. Although, but I mean, nonetheless, they're animated films. They make it work. It's all good. Nonetheless, I think it's an alright film. It's worth a watch. It's good enough. It's got enough entertainment value. I managed to find it interesting. It's fine. I don't think there's a truly terrible animated film in the last 20 or 30 years that you can find. There's nothing truly bad about any of them. So they all work on their own levels.